Hi everyone, it's Heidi from flutterbyheidi.co.uk and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator based in the United Kingdom, and today I'm working with the Sweet Ice Cream stamp set and coordinating punch, the ice cream builder, which punches out this scoop of ice cream and the cone to go below it. And this is part of the bundle of projects that I'm creating for you when you buy the bundle. And this is a fab fun one. I'm using some of the paper from the Sweet Ice Cream bundle, and that comes in a whole range of patterns available till the end of, well, hopefully till the end of June. Lots of fun colours in there, including this kind of waffle pattern. These are great, they will actually punch out as well. The little lollies as well that you can recreate. Fun stripes, small patterns, and some ice cream cones. So you get 2 sheets each of 6 designs, and I've obviously misplaced one of the designs because there is another one that goes with it as well. Yeah, and I know which one it is. I've probably pinched it for a project. Anyway, it is a great fun one. It's this pattern here. So it's this one which comes with a scallop on the back. I've obviously grabbed a piece to use on something else. But hey, that's because it's such fun. So let's get started. So the first thing you're going to need to do is obviously decide on what colourway you're going to use. And these are photopolymer stamp sets, so I'd recommend that you get yourself your Stampin' Pierce mat out, because we're going to be using that for our stamping. Okay. Create a card base. So this is just a standard card base, 5 3/4 by 8 1/4, scored at 4 1/8, 14.5 by 21, scored at 10.5. And then you want a layer to go on the front there. So this is just 14 by 10 centimetres. And then a layer of paper to go on top of that. And I've chosen this ice cream one as well. So all I'm going to do is just pop that on there to start off with. And this will be again another ½ centimetre smaller, so 13.5 by 9.5 centimetres. Now, if you're being frugal with your card, as I often am, you could gut the next layer out of the middle of this one. So that means you could just have cut it out of the centre, or if you're going to do some punching, you could do that. I've actually obviously made that slightly a narrower border, so that one is probably about 13.7 by 9.7, just to give a narrow border. And that's going to go straight onto our card. I'm just using Tombow. That gives us a bit of wiggle room, which means that when you pop it on, we can just slide it into place. Like so. So a nice bit of Calypso coral. Now to go with that, I've actually chosen a little bit of Petal Pink. And the Petal Pink is 11 by 7 centimetres, so about 2 3/4 by 4 3/8 of an inch. And then you want a piece of basic white to go on the front there, which is 10.5 by 6.5, or 2 5/8 by 4 1/4 inches. And that's the piece we're going to stamp on. So what you want are your 2 stamps, your top and your bottom stamp, and choose 2 kind of complementary colours. So I've chosen some Calypso coral for the base and some Soph saffron for the top, and that kind of or you could pick, actually I might choose, let's go for the Petal Pink. Yeah, let's go for Petal Pink. That's a lighter tone. So the way I do this to get it centred as much as possible. So because I'm starting from top and I want to make sure I've got space for our little sticks, I'm going to stamp towards the top in our Petal Pink on each side, like so. I'm then going to take my Calypso coral, and I'm using that rounded edge just to line that up. As you can see, just line it up That will just fit in really well there. And then I'm going to use the same I'm going to use the same colour for the central section. So I'm just going to wipe that on my chamois, and I'm going to use Calypso Coral stamped off in the middle there. And then for the base, I'm going to use my full strength Calypso Coral. I've probably got a lovely shot of my head there, and I'm just kind of lining up the base with those other ones as well. Perhaps I haven't done such a good job on that one. Always difficult when you're doing it on camera, because I can't get over the top, which I would normally do. But once you've done that, you then want to take, I'm going to use a bit of cinnamon cider for my stick. So you get lovely texture with these just by stamping anyway. And there's the little one just adds a little bit of kind of grain to the stick, like so. And then I'm going to come around with two things. First of all, I'm going to use my Calypso Coral. I'm going to add some sort of like dots to the top of my lollipop. And I'm going to then use my Petal Pink to add as sprinkles. So you're kind of creating a little bit of your own DSP background there, just like so. So I want my Calypso Coral left out because I'm going to use that and just stamp my happy birthday sentiment. So a good strong colour for the sentiment, because you want it to really stand out. And I've just used a scrap of my basic white that I've got to hand. There we go. Next thing I'm going to do is obviously hopefully wait for that to dry very slightly. And then we're going to fussy cut it, or fuzzy cut, depending on what people say. But it's quite simply, you're just cutting around the word, just to give a little white border. And this is just takes it away, and it works particularly well where you've got a design that you don't want to kind of hide. I mean, I could make that into a sort of a little banner if I wanted to. Sort of something like this, but if you look at that on top, it then looks quite heavy and obscures quite a bit of your pattern or your design that you've created. So by doing this, and it's really easy, even if you've got if you can hold a pair of scissors, just hold and just half kind of cut and move the card rather than the scissors to create our shape. And then I usually get rid of my stuff excess as I go along. I don't like to have too much in front of me, if it gets in the way when we're stuff cutting. So as I say, it doesn't have to be precise, it's just giving a feel for it, but it gives it a sort of a lightness to the sentiment that, got a little bit close there. As I say, it's just wiggly scissors. One of my fellow demonstrators calls it fuzzy cutting, because it's not precise, it's not straight, which is another lovely way to describe it. There we go. So having fussy or fuzzy cut that out, the next bit we want in our armoury is some stamping dimensionals. I'm going to understandably use my little ones here, my mini dimensionals. So just pop mini dimensionals where you can. So where you can get a whole one in there, just pop a whole one in. And then you might be left with a couple of places where there's a little bit left that doesn't quite, it's not quite big enough. So there, I just cut up the side of my dimensionals to cut a little strip. And then if you've made it as I have there, just a little bit big, just snip that off. So I think I'm pretty much there now. So I'm going to add this to my layer of petal pink. She's got sort of a lovely sort of orangey sort of tone in it as well, so it works really well with the Calypso coral. Just pop that on there. And then what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to put my sentiment over the top where I didn't quite line up my ice creams as well as my lollipops. Ice lollies? Yes, ice lollies. Didn't quite line that middle one up as well as I might have liked. Of course I can now not get my dimensionals off the back, it's always the way. There we go, last one. And there we have. So pop our happy birthday. And what you could do with this one, because you've got the with sprinkles on top, you could actually adapt that. I'll show you how we're doing on time. So again, just get some good lift on the back there. And what you might want to do is, once we've popped this on, because I forgot to set my timer for this one. Let's get the stamping pierce mat out of the way. Clear the deck slightly so it looks slightly more organised. Right. Just don't put that on upside down, although it wouldn't be the first time. Like so. And what I was going to suggest was, if you wanted to, if you just grab yourself a little scrap of Whisper White, and all you need to do is grab one of the extra sentiments that you've got with sprinkles on top. Hope it's sweet. So what I'm going to do is stamp the Hope It's Sweet. And I'm going to just cut those into three little bits. And again, coming in, grabbing those dimensionals, and the last little bit. And I'm just going to add those to the back of each of those little pieces to give an extra bit of fun to our card. So here's my Hope. Hope. And then we've got the It's. And finally, we will have, in a moment, Hope It's Sweet. So, another way to add a bit of fun, and another way to add to cover up an opportunity for embellishment if you make a mistake. So there you go. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to watch the other videos using this lovely set to make your fun ice cream themed cards. Thanks for watching. Bye.